name's Matt Keane, 23 years old, and I'm from St. Charles, Illinois. I make my living playing music.
I started playing music in Oklahoma when I lived there for, 6 years, from 3 to 9. I started playing music when I was 7. I got my first shitter guitar. I always wanted to and immediately did want to learn Foxy Lady because my aunt influenced me to love classic rock and old school music. And I'm a diehard, ZZ fan and anything of the old era. I mean, she was all about Earth, Wind & Fire and an eclectic taste. So it was a fortuitous thing that I had that rub off on me. At a very specific moment, I was playing in front of my school, and I played Sloop John B by the Beach Boys, and I hate to say that I blacked out, but I feel like I remember the moment as looking at a whole gymnasium full of kids, and then playing Sloop John B somehow in a haze. That come later on in life to learn how to do, unfortunately, but I got through Sloop John B, and then I just remember getting a hug from the other girl in my class who had played as well, not nearly as proficiently. And yeah, dude, it was kind of the moment where I was like, this seems right. Yeah, I mean, I got more comfortable here. I started skateboarding more than I did playing music, and getting into meeting different kinds of kids out here. It's definitely a different scene in this whole relatively opulent fucking upper middle class area where a lot of kids have a lot of time on their hands, and so it's different in that the influence wasn't so much about going and playing in the creek or kicking it outside and shooting a BB gun. It was more on I guess status, and so that whole mentality kind of shaped what I did for my first 3 years when I was living here and trying to fit in. I was struggling academically when I got here, and then that kind of led me to try and do this whole rebellious thing as I got older there too. So from 11 to 13, I started really listening to classic rock and really listening to the messages more that these guys were saying.
So this is the house that you're talking about that you moved into, huh?
Oh yeah, we're home. How can I be rude?
This is
I don't know, I love music. I definitely love music, but would I be alright without it? I think so. And I think that's within that, it means that I'm loyal to it because I choose to be, not because I have to be. My outlet is how I survive and how I process stuff and how I get through any given situation. It always ends up in a song. It gives me an outlet that's socially acceptable, and I still feel better. That's inspirational to me too. But honestly, I mean, I'm not in a morbid sense. I'm very fascinated by death, and I'm very fascinated by what is the 80 to 100, God willing, years you get on this planet Earth, or maybe even less. You never know. So I'm just very fascinated by what the purpose of all this is. And not in a pretentious or arrogant sense, I guess my goal is to leave some sort of footprint, and it's not for anybody else but me. My goal is to know that I was here. And that's why I continue to be inspired by the world, just so that I can hopefully just make a footprint big enough that at the end of my time I can say, I fucking did it, man. That's it. That is fucking it.
I heard there was a secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? And it goes like this: the fourth and fifth minor fall, and a manger left the baffled king come forth, sing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. hallelujah.